Milwaukee Bucks versus Indiana Pacers. This series had potential to be great, considering all the bad blood both of these teams had for each other during the regular season. There was that one game where Giannis scored over 60 points and had a confrontation with the Pacers after the game in their locker room because he believed they had his game ball, when actually the Bucks had the game ball, but the Pacers played along with it and said they did have his game ball and refused to give it back to him, which nearly caused a huge team fight with Giannis versus the Pacers. And I believe his brother Thanasis also ran in there to confront them. So both of these teams really hate each other. The games they played against each other this year were very competitive, even though Milwaukee was 1-4 against them. All those games were competitive from what I recall. So this matchup had potential to be really great. And I was actually looking forward to this up until hearing the news of Giannis's injury, the injury update from Shams today, in which Shams said that most likely Giannis will be gone for 2 to 4 weeks. And I think it was 2 to 6 weeks, but it was hope within the Pacers, not the Pacers organization, the Bucks organization, that Giannis would be able to recover from this injury in 2 weeks. That was their optimism. I don't know if they still believe it. Maybe they do. But if you factor in 2 weeks, he would be then ready for game 2 of the series. Now, if he comes back after 2 weeks, I'm going to assume that he was rushed to come back. And this is out of desperation by Milwaukee, which they definitely have the right to be desperate because they can't beat the Pacers without him. But I definitely feel he'll be rushed, and I don't think he'll be 100% ready to compete against the Pacers. The Bucks cannot beat the Pacers with a hobbled Giannis. They need him at 100%, and I don't think that's a possibility now with the injury he has. Sure, he can try to come back and play through it, but I don't think it'll be good enough because you got to factor in this season, even with him at 100% against the Pacers, the Bucks were only able to go 1-5 against them. And he had some really great games where they lost against the Pacers. There was one game where he scored over 50 points and had a ridiculously high field goal percentage, but the Bucks still lost that game. Now, there's no way I can believe with him being hobbled he could lead them to victory. So they've already lost the series, I believe, before it begins. They're in just that bad a predicament that I don't think they can win this series at all, especially without Giannis. They're definitely not going to win this series. It does not look good for them, considering that the Pacers are the number one team in offense this year. And the Bucks defense has been god-awful this year. I think the Bucks are 4th or 5th in offense, but defensively they're terrible, and they can't win a shootout with this team, especially without Giannis. So they're definitely going to lose this series. I have the Pacers. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to be bold. The Pacers will sweep the Bucks. That is my prediction.